All right, good afternoon, everybody. We welcome you back for the final time this week to Mississauga, Ontario for the men's B gold medal game between the Danforth Knights and the Kamloops Blackjacks. After 4 days of ball hockey here in Mississauga, this is our final game. Seems to go by quickly. My name is George Scott, joined by the coach George Gortzos. George, we'll get to you in just a second as we get ready now for the national anthem.
Thank you. If you're able, please stand for our national anthem.
So, George, we've got a game between the Danforth Knights and the Kamloops Blackjacks. We're going to go Ontario versus BC. It'll be a new champion this year. And any thoughts on these two teams before we get going?
Yeah, it's a little bit great to be here again, George. Kamloops Blackjacks, that's a historical franchise. Shout out to the people in BC, especially Mark Smith, who played for my team Canada, the conductor. I'm sure he's very proud of his team being here in the final. And the Danforth Demons come from an area I'm playing in hockey now in the Danforth, Leslieville, Greenwood area, and it's great to see these guys in the final, led by a real nice guy, Coach Giorgio there. So great matchup for me with some old personal ball hockey ties.
All right, so you're familiar with a lot of the people involved in these two organizations. We've got the Danforth Knights in the white to our left, and the darker jerseys, Kamloops Blackjacks. We've had two spectacular men's gold medal games already in the D and C. See what the B gives us. Cleared down the floor. Blackjacks are on it. Down in the corner. Throw it to the side of the goal. And taking no chances will be Corrado Arangio, who will hold it. We'll get a face-off.
Yeah, right off the bat, it looks like Danforth is in a forechecking mode, which is always good for the game because it adds a little zest to the affair. And there's another word I was working on there, George, zest.
Zest, okay. There's a certain appeal to it. It's a bad pun there.
Yes.
Be prepared. Clark gets it to center. That stop there, and Blackjacks will bring it back in, dump it in. Going in to chase after it, it's Favreau. Along the boards, taken by Sims Plania. Bring it up the right side, threw it into the middle. It went off a Blackjack player. Following up on it is Clark. That'll go out of play over in the far side. We'll get our first whistle.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Or not the first whistle, but first one out of play.
It doesn't seem like the coaches have any trick traps or anything. I think they're playing the game pretty honest right off the bat. Both teams are looking to forecheck and cause a little bit of havoc in the other team's end. Good start.
Face-off just outside the blue line. Played in, right on goal. Armstrong in goal for the Blackjacks. We just get settled into this one. Tipped in. And one thing I'm noticing, not from a player standpoint, George, but from a play-by-play standpoint, is Danforth must be wearing different color jerseys than they wore the last time they played. A number of numbers are different, and quite a few of them I don't have on my roster.
Yeah, well, that always causes a problem, George.
That happens. Sometimes teams change jerseys from like home to away jerseys, and suddenly a lot of the numbers change just when you think you've got it all down pat. Anyway, that's my problem.
That's why you're paid the big bucks, George.
Yeah, Empe's got it. He'll play it back behind his goal. Moves it up along, chipped in. Sutter for Kamloops. Over to Anderson. He tried to go back to Sutter. Now he will. They go back and forth behind the goal. Anderson's got it. To Gafer. He lost it. Danforth. Swing it this side right in the middle. That shot was blocked, didn't get through. Coming back the other way. Longinger. That's Thompson, number 12. We'll go by the names in the back of the jerseys now. One way to do this. Henderson gets it in over the blue line, just onside. Down to Piva. Piva in around behind the goal. Lost it momentarily, then got it back. Bring it towards the blue line, create a little bit of space, then dump it in. Battle along the boards. Won by Kamloops. Quick shot there. And a good save made by Arangio. And they go along the boards. They're back in front of the goal. And that will be a flooring call against Danforth.
That was some good forechecking there by Kamloops. Hard work, and they found the man in the slot, and a great save by the goalie. And, for those of you tuning in, that's another essence of this sport is the hard work you got to put in to get something out. And Kamloops almost got rewarded there.
Sims Planier plays it back. We'll go the other side. To Morden. Actually, it's 16, Campano. Campano lost it. Another good chance for Kamloops. That was John Favreau.
So they pressed the 2D there, and that pressure caused number 16 to give it up on the side boards there. There's a big separation between the D and their forwards, and I know Coach Giorgio is going to make make that known. I see him talking as forwards there.
Face-off win, a shot put wide. Danforth having trouble getting out of their own end. Capano forced back behind his goal. Sims Plania. They'll just backhand it down the floor to the other Sims Plania. We got Caleb and Keon. Keon wearing 00 in this game.
Well, right now, we're about five minutes in. Kamloops has really shown a hard forecheck. Their players are on the Danforth players right away. Danforth's got some diminutive defensemen there who are very fast, but they're feeling the heat right now. Coming from BC.
Pretty much the whole country is feeling the heat these days. I think we've got a heat wave from one end to the other. Right on goal, and again, Arangio will hold on to it.
Well, Georgia, it is what it is, yes. I tell you one thing, I felt the heat of Toronto traffic coming here today. Made me want to go back to St. John's and go on Topsoil Road from Mount Pearl to St. John's.
Well, going there next week. Shot in by Danforth. They get it along the boards. Unable to hold it in. Anderson plays it down into the corner. Danforth on it back there. In behind the play, the referee back at the far blue line has indicated a penalty. I think he may be sending both guys. One for tripping, the other one for holding the stick. All right, so offsetting will stay 5-on-5.
A little bit of, emotion. It is a gold medal final, George, the final game. And again, if you're a national champion, you are for life. And these teams have been working hard, and here we go. Gold is at the end of the line. Who wants it more?
Well, we said you're never a defending champion because nobody can take it away from you. There's nothing to defend. It's yours. It can be
well said.
The previous one, the latest one, but you don't have to defend your championship. You won it. Empey shot that goes up high and out of play. Actually, Empey now is wearing number 3. I'm going to revamp my entire roster as we move through this.
Well, one thing...
This could get interesting.
Oh, I'm sure it could. I think the Kamloops coaching staff has done a really good job studying Danforth. They are playing man-to-man forecheck right from the start, so it's given Danforth some yips here and there.
Back at the blue line, held in momentarily. Kamloops play it down the floor. Empey goes back to get it. And it's dumped in, stopped up behind the goal by Armstrong. Then a giveaway in front. Chance here for Danforth. Kamloops put up a bit of a wall in the goal. The goaltender and 3 guys all tried to cover it up. They did so successfully. Lying in there, give it back to his defense. Dumped in, Henderson to the front of the goal, one-handed towards the net, and once again Arangio has to be careful, doesn't give up a rebound.
Well, you did mention the name Armstrong. That rang a bell for me because Bill Armstrong was the coach of the Kamloops Blackjacks and really set this franchise in motion in the 90s along with my beloved Mark Smith, who I used to call the conductor. I'm sure they're tuning in somewhere in BC. And I say a welcome to all our BC ball hockey fans. Such a fine province. Some wonderful teams have come from there. So shout out to Coach Bill Armstrong.
Shot bounces around in front of the goal and then batted towards the boards. That shot directed to the far side. On it first is Henderson. Down behind for Favreau. Favreau circling the goal. Favreau trying to turn to his forehand. He likes to go to the backhand. Scores! Gave up on getting to the forehand. Stayed with the backhand and made it pay off.
Well, I think they're waving it off for some reason. Favreau did some great work there, and it was a backhand that Dave Keon would be proud of. That's for sure. And at 62, George, sometimes my memory evades myself. It wasn't Bill Armstrong. Bill Armstrong is the GM of the Arizona Coyotes, who I played against in a national championship. Jim Armstrong is the name of the coach.
They did wave it off.
Yes.
Not sure why. I don't know if you caught anything there, George. Maybe we'll get an announcement, but I didn't see the issue. Maybe somebody in the crease. That'll be a flooring call. Will come back down into the Danforth end of the floor. It's all I can think of, somebody in the crease interfering with the goaltender.
Yeah, that's too bad, because Dave Keon would have really loved that Favreau backhand there. And Favreau's being noticeable at these first few shifts.
Yeah, I did a game with this team yesterday. He was certainly noticeable there. One of the best players on the floor, had a couple of goals. Out at center, shot. Armstrong makes the save. Sims Plania will come back to the point. They'll go the other side. Clark puts it towards the goal. Did not get all the way through. Sims Plania to Sims Plania. Blocker save made by Armstrong. Big battle at the side of the goal. The ball goes up high in the air to the boards. On it first was Zach Anderson for BC, and they'll relieve the pressure by sending it down the floor. That's going to bring the faceoff back in the Kamloops end.
Well, a little bit of hockey fire there. For young defensemen watching the high slot, remember, in ball hockey, the center line gives you half the area for offense. And you got to get yourself out of the mode where you're in a safe spot in front of the net, especially if the man you should be watching is 10 feet deep higher in the slot. You got to be there. And Danforth nearly capitalized on that lack D-zone coverage there. It's something that, coaches have to work on to make sure that players understand proper defensive positioning, because it can make a big difference in big games like this.
Delay. The referee having trouble getting his shoelace done up. I don't know if he's using the bunny ear method or the over and under one. Still no score in this men's B gold medal game. Face-off win for Danforth. Shot by Capano comes off the end boards. Danforth is on it. It's Toth to Capano. Toth overran it. Right up by Laniger. Empey going back to pick it up. Empey turning, getting it to center. Tried to give it back to his defensive partner, Ignazi. Left it for Piva. Piva's shot is kicked away by Arangio. Go the other side. Bounces up in the air, right at center, then dumped in. Came from the Kamloops side of the center red line, so we're going to come back down to our right, face off in their end.
And you know, this Danforth team is run by Neil Planey, and you know, Neil's doing such a great job over there in that area with masters players and adult players, and you know, really creating an organization that players want to play for, and they've done a great job. So I'm sure this is a big game for him and this organization to be in the final.
That was blocked and comes all the way out. Juicy lost it. Shot just wide. By Erichuk. Almost a costly giveaway there for Danforth. Get away with it. Henderson, he lost it as he came in over the blue line. Players sliding around all over the place. Nobody could get a shot on goal. It's dumped in over the top of the goal. Arangio's going to hold on to it.
And you know, George, in St. John's, you got your beautiful cod there and the fish and chips. Danforth, I don't know if you know, George, but that's near Greektown there. So,
okay,
you know, you got your souvlaki and that there. So that's where a lot of these kids gravitate to. And it's great to see Danforth here in this Canadian final.
Sims Pania trying to run it down in the corner. Uses that reach, comes up with the ball, gets it behind the net. They'll come back at the point. Down along the boards, that'll go over the top of the net. And ring it around, and Kamloops will come up with it.
And you see that high slot was open, a little bit soft coverage again there by the Blackjacks. And you gotta, once your player passes the ball in the, you know, behind the net, you have to be able to follow him in the deep slot and not leave him open for a blast there.
Still no score. We've got 3:23 left to go in the first period. Rapinoe to take the face-off for Danforth. Player for Kamloops out of position, so they're going to wave the face-off man out. Anderson, right up through the middle, they'll backhand it down. Capano throws it around the boards. Danforth with a chance to move it out. Here they come. So that's Capano, 43. Doing it to me again, George.
Well, I'll tell you, Kamloops is very driven, especially on the back check and the forecheck, to be right on the ball carriers. Giving Danforth pressure. And I see Danforth has number 41, Jason Toth there. He's played for Canada Masters. Really a self-made ball hockey player through hard work. Great to see him still playing.
Hyman, it's knocked out of the air with a high stick, so that'll bring the face-off down in the Danforth end.
You know, just like Newfoundland has its great players, I think of BC, I think of guys like Indy Judy, Smitter, Sharni Kalai, Mr. Baker, Kyle Marks. Just a great history in the sport, BC.
Just noticed our scoreboard had the Blackjacks in Ontario. Of course, they're in BC. So we've got that fixed. Toth. That's dumped in.
Here comes the relentless Blackjacks.
They get in a forecheck quickly. Toth gets it out. Back to pick it up, Jordan Moore. Rips it up towards the blue line. Getting on it first is Favreau. We may have a penalty. It's going to be a hooking call.
Yeah, and you know, Favreau right off the boards there. He had his eyes on a great pass there. He's really a dangerous player, number 10. You know, not a big guy, but you know, in our sport, that's the beauty of our sport. All shapes and sizes can excel with good vision and being in great shape, and he certainly is a dangerous offensive player. Very noticeable this period.
So first power play of the game belongs to the Blackjacks. Pile up to the side of the goal.
Yeah, it's been a pretty cleanly played game. And you know, that's the other thing, George. Both teams are pushing. Sometimes when teams are trapping, it gets the players a little bit extra jacked up when the action starts. But these guys are working. Both teams are working hard.
Henderson to take the face-off for Kamloops. He will win it cleanly. Will come back to the point. He'll set it up there. It's Bartella back at the quarterback position. Shot off a stick, off the glass. Kamloops maintained possession. Martello with a shot coming off the end boards, gobbled up by Danforth. Will be kept in. Swing at the other side. Down low. We're into the final minute here of the opening period. To the side of the goal and cleared away at the last second by Danforth. Get it in over the blue line. We'll go in and chase Henderson. Danforth player got there first. Piva in to try and help out. It comes out. Bartella. We go the other side. That shot blocked. That was Paul Giusti. Got another penalty coming up to Danforth. Player knocked down in front of the goal. That shot comes off the end boards. There's 12 seconds to go in the period. Bartella towards the goal, and Arangio's got it, holds on. He's been good this period. It's the reason perhaps why this score is still tied at 0.
Yeah, Danforth on the penalty kill was in great shot blocking position, caused Kamloops a little bit of problems, but in a gold medal game, you got to sometimes pack the heat away. I shouldn't say it that way these days, but not get into losing your cool there. And now Danforth, I think, is going to be 2 men short.
They are.
And it's a 4 minute that they took. That's difficult.
Yeah, I was cross-checking right in front. Knocked down the player in front of the goaltender. So this will carry over into the second period. Just 8 seconds to go in that first penalty, so it's not going to be much of a 5-on-3, especially with the face-off coming at center to start the second period, but then another 3:49 of 5-on-4 they'll have a chance to work on. All right, we're going to take a little break. Let's see if I can figure out some names and numbers in the next 2 minutes, and we'll be back with period number 2. A brief 5-on-3 for Kamloops to start this second period. 8 seconds to go in that first penalty.
Yeah, they really got to take advantage of this, George. These are moments in gold medal games that you can't let slip by, because if you don't take advantage of them, you'll think about them for a year.
That pass was intercepted. So now it's 5-on-4 for an extended period of time, bearing, of course, other penalties or goals. Still about 3.5 minutes to go in the 4-minute penalty. So far, Kamloops spending this period in their own end.
Yeah, one bad pass cost them about 40 seconds.
This time they'll chip and chase. They'll get in on the forecheck. The ball will go out of play. The faceoff will stay now in the Danforth end.
Hey, you want to win in gold medal games, you have to bear down in the moment. Right now, who I see bearing down is Danforth wanting to kill this penalty, but there's a lot of time left. And, if you're on the power play here, you got to be looking to score a goal.
Bartella, Favreau, back to Bartella, to Favreau. Now they'll go down low. There's Henderson. Can't get it to the front of the goal. It's kept in. Bartella, Favreau. His shot stopped. The rebound is there. A quick look over his shoulder, but he can keep it out. Does Arangio. Wasn't quite sure for a second.
Yeah, he's done a job in the nets, as you say, for Danforth, George. And I think the Blackjacks need to shoot the ball a little bit more. What's happening is Danforth knows they're looking for tap-in nearby, and they're being very methodical. But sometimes you got to shoot the ball and make the PK spread out a little bit.
Henderson to take the face-off. Won by Danforth. A bit of room. Tried to make the cross-floor pass, and that was intercepted. Ramirez gets it down low. Kills some more time. Just about 2 minutes left to go in the 4-minute penalty. Favreau doing good work again. Created a little bit of space, dropped it back. Bartella. And back up to Henderson. Sims Plania will clear. Minute 40 to go in the power play. Gained the zone. Henderson pulls it out, gives it to Bartella, back to Henderson. Nowhere to shoot it. Eventually did, even though there was no lane there.
Right, and what's happening is the Blackjacks are in a what we call an umbrella formation for you coaches watching, and the PK of the Danforth is in a diamond formation, so it's 3-on-3 on top. You know, George, we've watched a lot of international ball hockey. The Czech Republic and Slovakia probably would have fired about 10 shots by now, like from the point, and that really loosens things up.
Yeah, there was a lot of this fake shot stuff going on and nothing happening. Defense just were able to stay where they were. Not moving anybody around. The ball wasn't moving.
Too methodical.
Ignazi. Now they've got Graham playing up in the quarterback position. The top of the power play. Ignazi. Woo! Thought his teammate was going to go one way, his teammate went the other, and Danforth came up with it.
Yeah, and the time is running out, and this power play started in a bad way, and it's got to really find something in the last 40 seconds here.
They get it in. Here's Graham. Not going to shoot it. Top of the circle. They'll shoot that. That's blocked. The rebound was there, though, and another good save by Arangio.
Well, if Danforth can kill this penalty, it'd be a big moment, but their best player is being their goalie. He's really been fantastic. Made a lot of saves, keeping them in this game. And Kamloops may rue the day that they did not put a orange ball by him in this power play.
Still got a little bit of time, 28 seconds. They control it from the faceoff. That was key. One-timer from Graham over the top of the goal. It almost came back at him front, but hit the back of the net. Dropped there. That's a little bit too hard for Ignazi. That's off the glass and up into the mesh, but the faceoff is going to stay in the Danforth end, but only 3 seconds left to go now.
Well, you know, if I was to grade that power play, they'd be going to summer school. You know, that wasn't what I call, a gold medal power play, but they'll have another chance, I'm sure. But it's still 0-0 here.
They kind of helped kill it off themselves. Not a whole lot going towards the goal. So in 3 seconds, the penalty will be over. And it is now. Player knocked down at the blue line, and that's going to be a tripping call. So after failing to take advantage of their own power play, now they've got to kill one off.
Isn't that the way it usually works? George Danforth looks like it's pumped up a little bit after doing that. So a big opportunity for them to answer and get ahead here in this gold medal game.
Has Favreau gone to the penalty box? It'd be a big turnaround if Danforth could score here.
Yeah, because, you know, in the first period, I'd have to give Kamloops was a better team, but, you know, it's a 3-period game and a big opportunity here.
A good start for Kamloops. Killing the penalty, win the faceoff, get it down the floor, kill some time. A poor entry.
Yeah.
A poor entry attempt.
Yes.
He never did get it in. So down the floor it goes once again.
Oh, that's
Piva doing some great work down low, killing this penalty. Finally it comes free. Kouxis to the front of the goal. It's Clark. No possession at all in the Kamloops end for Danforth. Haven't had the ball inside the blue line once.
Yeah, it's
halfway through. Sorry, George.
The Blackjacks are pressing with one. They're not just waiting with four. Right at the outset there.
Okay, now they get it in. Kouxis. Go to the right side. It's Giusti. Back to Kouxis. Shot off the boards. Clark has it. Put it wide. Giusti looked up and unable to hold it in was Kouxis. Now they've got to try again. Just 15 seconds to go in the power play. And time is going to run out on Danforth. Not much of a power play either, George. Neither team being able to take advantage of the man advantage.
I think I may give them a lower mark.
Yeah, 2-on-1 shaping up. They get it in front. Here's a breakaway. Favreau stopped by Orangio.
Boy, that goalie's on his A game there. Something occurred. I see the referee pointing here. Did somebody leave the bench early? I don't know.
Doesn't look like there's a penalty of any sort. I'm seeing 5-on-5 out there. He was emphatically pointing down at the floor. I'm not quite sure what he meant.
I guess everything's okay.
All good. I'm not sure how we had Kamloops in Ontario earlier on the scoreboard.
There's a Kamloops, Ontario, isn't there? I don't think so.
I was
trying to help you.
Yeah,
George.
thanks. Appreciate it. Yeah, for the record, I do know Kamloops is in BC. Always knew that.
You been Kamloops, Kelowna, George?
I haven't. I have been. I've
Beautiful,
been to BC.
beautiful part of our country, and here we are. We have kids from those areas playing against each other. That's what makes the CBHA the CBHA.
So we were there just a couple of years ago for the Canadian Juniors, or the year before time, the year before COVID. We were in Port Coquitlam, Burnaby. Spent a little bit of time in Vancouver. And this short side, it'll come out the boards over on the far side of the arena, then it's shot down the floor. Epi getting back and won't get there in time. Face-off will come back down in the Kamloops end.
There hasn't been what I call a high amount of high percentage scoring chances. But the goalies have been there. But these two teams are playing very well, and I think they're a little bit evenly matched.
Yep. Take away the power plays for both teams, and I think you got to give a little bit of the edge to Kamloops at this point. They've had the better chances. We've talked about Arangio, how good he has been. Armstrong hasn't been as busy.
No, that's right.
I'll go straight up in the air from the face-off. Kamloops will lug it out. Zach Anderson to Arangio. He's got it.
Well, the power plays have been almost ghostly. It's like Freddie Krueger against Jason. Like, they're just bad. It's been bad. Like, I can't sugarcoat it up to now, George. But
Freddie Krueger versus Jason. I love that.
Yeah.
I may steal that one, George.
I'll send you the bill, George.
Toe tipped in. Giusti back to get it. Get it out. Kuksis is there. Pass was on his backhand. Would love to have been able to one-time that one. Long shot in. That just missed. Anderson, a little trouble with that. Danforth will chase it down in behind the goal. Down in the corner, they go to the boards. Kamloops come up with it. Get it out. That came out. Giusti tried to sell it as if he had kept it in.
Giusti made a nice play to start that whole breakout there.
Danforth sent two men in on the forecheck, come up with the ball. Sims Plania. Spin off the boards, gets it behind the goal, stops up there. Elects to come back to the point to Giusti. He'll feed it back into the corner. Sims Plania. Tipped in front, goes behind the goal. Clark has got it. Giusti. He and Clark working along the boards. Giusti has it again. Eventually something's got to give. It's been a tightly played game. Clark back to Giusti. Kick to the boards. Sims Plania. Toth. Shot over the top of the goal. It comes over the top. Anderson had to be careful. It didn't hit him in the back and go in. Good shift here for Danforth. They've got Kamloops pinned in, and they're going to win a power play as a result of all that hard work.
And that's what does it sometimes. You know, George, I'm wondering, there are some veteran players, but there's a lot of young players. This is a B final. A lot of these players are still growing in the game. They look a little bit fatigued. It's been a long week. You know, maybe there's not as much jump in their step. It's awfully hard to do the running that is required for this game day after day, and this is the culmination of it. But somehow you got to find the effort. And again, I talk about growth opportunities for young people watching here. Here you are, you're playing with the team, you're trying to win a gold medal, you're trying to find out how you can pull something out of yourself. You're playing 2 different provinces here, 2 different styles, and that's what makes the CBHA what it is. You know, bringing Canada together through this great game of ball hockey. And George, you know what I always say, ball hockey is the vitamin of health for the sport of hockey, period. And, you know, I hope the ice hockey people who are listening in and running organizations understand how important it is. Look at the young Canadians that won the C final there. You know, a great group of ethnic young boys that came back and won a tremendous game there, George.
Yeah, that C final was unbelievable, with the young stars winning it in overtime. You know, George, everybody who's ever played ice hockey, pretty much to a person, has at some point played ball hockey. We all grew up playing out on the street. You play some ball hockey, or in gym class you play ball hockey. Everybody's done it. So now this is just the same game at a very high level. But it is the roots of the game of hockey. Ball and a stick. Kooksis. Pretty much everybody started with that before they went to skates and a puck.
Well, that's the whole idea, George. And we'll see here if we'll see something that's not a horror show.
Well, they've got possession and they're moving it around pretty nicely. Nobody's standing around with the ball. Sims Plania plays it back to the point. Kooksis will go down low. Keep the ball moving. Keep the defense moving. Create some lanes. Give yourself some chances. That was a chance. Clark from down along the goal line. It was a tough angle, but he had room. Kooksis. Back down to Clark. Clark's got room there. Blocker save, and it goes out of play.
That's a big tender there, Mr. Armstrong. There's not much room there. And both these goalies look quite fantastic, and you're going to have to beat them with a great shot. I wonder if these power plays are a little bit too methodical. The ball has to zip around a little bit more. You know, I'm thinking of my old coach, Danny Rinaldi, who used to say, move that ball quickly, and you'll find a seam.
Absolutely. So I was referencing, you've got to keep it moving. If you stand still with the ball, the defense can stand still and defend you all day. There are a lot of parallels between this and basketball, where I coached for about 15 years and played for many years. That one ran off the outside of the goal. But it's so similar, and it's sort of the half-court game in ball hockey,
right,
even more so than ice hockey. And it's, yeah, you got to move it.
Well,
ball moves faster than the players can.
The key guy, just like basketball, is the quarterback on the top there.
Yeah, your point guard. You refer to the guy at the top of the power play as a quarterback. You could call him the point guard. That shot didn't get through. There's the player lying down that stopped it, and it's cleared. And finally, the power plays come to an end. But that was a better looking one, George.
It was.
It created some opportunities. Kooksis gave it away. Bringing it in. Thompson gives it to Henderson. Henderson behind the goal now with Toth on him. We'll cycle it back down low. Getting to it first. This is Anderson. Pushed to the boards by Kooksis. Under 2 minutes to go now in the second period. Nothing yet. Dumped in. Hustling back to pick it up. That's Brandon Toy. Following up on it was Irichuk. He overran the ball. Sims Plania. It's not in yet. Now it is. Big slap shots from well out. Easy save, though, for Anderson. Or Armstrong, rather.
You know, Danforth just broke that ball out. Number 3, Empey, won the ball behind the net using great body position. And then went off the boards, a nice little chip to his forward, who chipped it forward. And we always say the boards is your friend here in this sport. And that was a neat little hard work breakout. Kamloops has lost a bit of its zest, George.
Yep.
And it could be the penalty killing, and they just don't seem like the same team they were in the first period right now.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier Kamloops had the better of the play. That has turned around the last few shifts. And Kamloops called a timeout. Well, actually, Danforth called that one. Kamloops called the first one. Down to 1:14 to go here in the second period. Still waiting for somebody to break through on the scoreboard. Sims Plania got it to the front of the goal, but then calmly taken away. Bartella got it out. Right back in for Danforth. Sims Plania. Knocked down in front of the goal.
The Sims Plania duo have been causing a little bit of havoc. Great work on the boards there by 61.
Yeah, they have played well. That's Caleb Sims Plania. The other one is Keon Sims Plania wearing the 00. Player had the stick slashed out of his hand, and we're going to get a penalty against Kamloops. Once they touch it up, they get the goalie out to Danforth for the extra attacker. But now it's touched up. 4.7 seconds to go in the period. Danforth back on the power play.
And this is what happens when you lose, you know, the engine that's been driving you, and you start taking some penalties, and you know, sooner or later, one of these power plays has to create something for their team. They're certainly getting the opportunities, George. You know, if you
4.7. You got to win the face-off cleanly. They do not. Well, they get to it though. They didn't win it cleanly, but it came free. A backhand went wide. And 1:56 in the power play will carry over into period number 2. We'll take a 2-minute break. Be right back. Okay, so to the third period we go. No score. Danforth, minute 56 to go to work on the power play to start this third period.
I see Coach Giorgio's got his team, the power play out there working on something. And you know, Giorgio is a very talented offensive player, so hopefully he can instill something in these stagnant power plays that we've been seeing.
He had the whiteboard out and was drawing something up.
But you know, I was mentioning to you, George, these players do look a little fatigued. They just don't have that extra step, and I think this whole week has taken a toll on them. But hey, this is a gold medal final. 15 minutes. You don't get this time back.
Sims Plania plays it back to Giusti. Giusti will get the return pass. Holding the stick is the call, and that penalty at the end of the second period. One-timer by Thompson. Go back to Thompson. Whoa, got to be careful. Kept it onside. Clark's shot didn't get through. Good job to knock it down, keep it onside. And shoot it over to Thompson. Couldn't one-time it.
Man in the crease.
Yep, another crease violation.
You know, there's a couple times I thought they should have just, right at the top, the quarterback should have just drifted it right there. But they're looking for something. And
well, they're not finding it so far,
no.
Whatever it is.
No.
Kamloops able to send it down the floor. 1 minute to go in the power play. Still no score in this gold medal game. There's the chip, and here's the chase. Giusti in there. Got there first. Come back to the point. Over to Thompson. Back up top. There's the shot. Ricochet to the side. Sims Plania.
You see how that opened things up a little bit there.
Oh, absolutely. The shot came in. It came right to Sims Plania. Unfortunately, he kind of lost his balance. Couldn't do anything with it, but he had it at the side of the goal. Bouncing ball. Mishandled a little bit there. I think he wanted to hang on to that with all that traffic coming in. Shot scores. There it is.
Well, it was a great shot by Sims Plania, and he's been a little pest and deserved goal there.
There it is. Gets it to his forehand.
Quick shot.
Yeah. And again, I think that all started when the ball came into the goaltender. When he got the trapper down, I thought he meant it to. He meant to hold on to it.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of traffic bearing down on him. The ball fell out of the trapper, and
it's the little things like that that make a difference.
So 1-0. And the power play comes off the board. Huge goal.
Well, Kamloops has to get back on their forecheck game. We'll see if they can summon up that energy.
This one stays in the glove.
But you know, Danforth found something. It's like going to the convenience store way back in the day and looking for that Milky Way bar and racing to beat the other player or person to it. So they got the Milky Way bar, and it's 1-0 right now. Ever had a Milky Way bar, George?
Oh, I've had many Milky Way bars. What are you talking about?
You don't see them anymore.
No. Go back to my childhood. You just brought me back. But I tell you, it's another Gortzism, though. Found the Milky Way bar.
That's it.
Gets out. Lyman Go back to get it. Then it's dumped in by Henderson. He'll head to the bench. Giusti can't get it out. It'll be kept in. Graham scores!
Well, that's a big goal for the Kamloops.
Any shot on goal is a good one, right? There wasn't a lot on that, just kind of put it in the general direction and something good happened.
Well, they were running on fumes. They needed, I saw the bench explode there. So, you know, with 12 minutes left, it's a run to the golden ticket.
All right, let's take a look at it, George, on the replay. Just
a little
just
giveaway
simple
there.
shot towards goal, yeah. Nothing hard about that one. Traffic in front, goaltender didn't see it. We're tied at 1. Now things open up a little bit.
Big save there.
Pringle from way out, got it on goal. Everybody now thinks, okay, let's just shoot it on goal, and that may get things going a bit. Here's Pringle over the other side, one-timer. Big save made by Armstrong. A quick response by Kamloops after falling behind 1-0. Didn't get any goals for the first 2 periods. We get a couple in less than 2 here in the third, 1 each. Kouxis will get to the red line, shoot it in. Stopped up there. Played in by Kamloops. Empey has to hustle back. Reverses it along the boards. Sends Plania. Surrounded by Kamloops players. Sutter. Long shot wide of the goal. Sims Plania. He's checked right away by Bartella. Piva shot high off the glass. Somehow getting a stick on it and getting it towards goal.
That was a great move there. And Kamloops' forecheck is starting to re-enter the arena. And, you know, I should mention, George, Danforth, Plania Neal, who created this team, came from Withrow Park and a league run by Jimmy Plitus way back when. So great historical roots. And BC, one of the greatest teams I ever saw was the New Westminster Astros. Fantastic team way back when. And here we are 1-1 with 10:20. History lesson over, George.
I took notes. I'm not going to call you the coach. You are now the professor.
I like that.
Like that? Okay, we'll go with that. Professor Gortzos. Doctor of ball hockey.
Well, you see, we did mention that Kamloops' forecheck has re-entered the arena, and with that comes some things that occur. And right now, Kamloops really has to have their best power play of the day, because I guess I've been talking about chocolate. Well, Willy Wonka is looking for their goal, and here's a chance to get a golden ticket.
Need that golden ticket.
And that's not a good way to start the power play.
Kamloops with a chance now with the man advantage.
The way these two teams are playing, this is overtime.
Bartella with a shot from the point. That's going to get over his head, and he'll have to go back and get it. And take the pass from the goaltender, Armstrong. Move it in quickly to Piva. And then they'll, well, a bit of a break. The ball goes out. It went off a Kamloops player last, so the faceoff will come outside the blue line. They'll have to regain the zone. Minute 11 left to go in the power play.
Well, 9:25 left here to get that beautiful Jack trophy. What a beauty that is. I was down there looking at it.
Something new this year, the Jack Cup.
Named after the four men that brought these associations together. The one I knew best was Ken White. Great guy.
Sutter will go to the other side, top of the circle. No shot, goes down along the goal line. Work it into the circle. There's a chance. Shot goes wide, looking short side. On it first is Anderson, Zach Anderson. Back to Sutter. That goes off somebody high in the air. Comes down behind the goal. Two Kamloops players back there. They'll retrieve it. 20 seconds to go in the power play. Defenseman is down, sitting on the ball, and the whistle will go.
That's not a fun place to be with a lot of sticks poking around there. I've been there. I think I got the scars to show of my many thousands of games, George. And you know, one of the guys who hacked me the worst is the ISPHF president, Elio Pascuzzo.
I was going to say, I bet Elio gave you a few of those scars.
No, it's taken a long time for me to get over that, but I have. Face-offs are key now. Always are, but really now.
As we get later into this one, 8:28 to go in the third period. Still just 14 seconds to go now in the power play. Kamloops win it. They'll hold it in. Shot goes wide of the goal. Player knocked down. Danforth get it, and that's going to do it. Power play is over.
Well, you know, I don't know about that power play, but here we go now, 8 minutes to win.
Dumped in. Empey back to get it for Danforth. Around the boards, it'll be cut off over there by Henderson. Henderson has it. Cycles it down low. Empey cuts it off. Read that play. Again, the forecheck of Kamloops. Get in there quickly. This is Sims Plania. Put it back behind the goal to Empey. Quickly, he'll move it out to Clark. Up to Sims Plania. Get it in over the blue line. Clark along the far boards, puts it behind the goal. Taken away by Kamloops. They'll get to center, shoot it in. Goaltender Arangio comes out to play it. Gets it to Pringle. To Giusti. Partella just missed. Ball comes back to the point. Drifted in towards goal, right on goal. Arangio saw it the last second, got the stick down. Pringle turning in the corner, he lost it. Pivo pins his man to the boards. Pringle, not much happening offensively for Danforth. They turn it over in their own end once again.
Well, the relentless forecheck is back.
They'll get a line change in. Still, Gayfer is in there. Anderson comes up to help out. Danforth able to move it. Pringle. Sims Plania, he lost it. Call. He'll move it out to the blue line, flip it ahead, trying to run onto it, and doing so successfully was Gafer. Got it onside. Now they move in. Gafer to backhand, forehand. Ball still loose. Diving out Arangio. He's got it.
Oh, wow. He had it there. He tried to do a little bit of some magic there, but
I think he may have been better off just
I
shooting
think
it
so.
on his first opportunity.
I think so. Then again, George, goal scoring wasn't my forte. So I'll take your word on it. My forte was playing defense. So
Well, I'm just an announcer. It's easy from here. Easy to say, oh, you should have shot it.
yeah.
Who am I? Do you know we get paid to say things like that?
Yes.
Sims Bonilla in over the blue line, working hard. Goes down into the corner. Let's see now if Danforth can get something going offensively. Long shot. Clark couldn't get to the rebound. It's cleared to the boards by Diaz. Sims Bonilla bowls his man over. The ball is held against the boards. The whistle goes. We're down to 5:01 to go.
Well, George, I wish I could go out to Newfoundland to see you. I don't know, the prices for flights out to Newfoundland
It's not cheap.
It's not cheap these days.
I've always said I love living in Newfoundland, but the worst part about it is when you try and get away. It can be
Right.
very expensive.
Well, if I get lucky, maybe you'll see me, but I doubt it. But it is a wonderful place to go.
Bonilla. Shot didn't get through. Comes back to the point. Put into the corner. Kamloops on it. They'll go back into the corner. Throw it in front. Got to be careful here. Don't want to mess around with it too much in your own end. There's the turnover. Thompson. Throw it across. Scores! Oh, you could just smell it coming.
Oh, that was very well done. Very well done. That was some beautiful ball hockey there.
But it all started with messing around with it in your own end. Drives me crazy. Here we go. Again, easy for me to say. Let's have a look. There's the turnover.
Yeah.
That's where it starts. A great pass right there. And then another one right on the doorstep.
Four really great passes and really moved the ball well. And richly deserved goal there.
Arangio won't take any chances now. 4:29 to go. His team is up by 1 in this gold medal game.
You know, George, I've been away from the CBHA for a little while, but I got to say, President Tim with his staff just done an excellent job here. Great executive work.
Well, they've tried to make a number of changes. Taken a number of ideas and run with them. The Jack Cup being one. All in against the boards in behind the Danforth goal. This will go just wide of the goal.
Yeah, 3 minutes and 40 seconds. Kamloops has to be hard on the ball now, and the D's got a pinch strong side. And, here we go. The golden ticket is still out there to be taken.
You forechecked hard before. You've got to forecheck even harder now.
Yeah, you got to find something. It's been a long week.
Do you have that reserve? hold it in. Shot off a leg. And cleared out. Dumped in, now they'll go in, and you can see the legs look tired, George.
Yes, they do.
It's not the kind of speed we saw earlier in the week. Backhand it down, it'll be enough to go for a flooring call. And Danforth has to be careful about this, playing sit back and try and defend the lead at this point. Still too much time left.
Oh, that's for certain. And what a great venue this is, George.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I think the CBHA should look at this for future international events. Just a fantastic venue. And again, hats off to the CBHA staff working as a close-knit team here. They've really done a great job.
Yeah, 4 pads in this one facility, highlighted by here the main bowl, home of the Mississauga Steelheads, and the Raptors 905.
You had to get the Raptors 905 in there, George.
Big time basketball fan. Once again, you play with fire, you start doing this.
Yeah, well, it almost looks like Roger Nielsen is coaching them right now, icing it. But I got to say, the cardigan of the week goes to ISBHF president Elio Pascuzzo.
Oh, the white cardigan?
Yeah, the white cardigan.
He
is,
breaks that out every now and then.
Yeah, and what a ball hockey guy he is. Don't anybody watching this say I said it, but yeah, you know, he loves the game.
I've loved to have the chance over the last few years to hang around with yourself and Elio and listen to you swap war stories about ball hockey. It's been a real treat. Whoa, a chance right in front. Henderson had the ball on his stick. Just a few feet in front of the goaltender. No flooring this time. Give Sims plenty of credit for forcing the
great effort.
Yeah, he forced the Kamloops player to go back and get it. Couldn't pretend to run hard, which we see from time to time. Actually had to go back and get it. Let's do the boards. Hand pass.
Well, a minute 57 here, George. You got to wonder when Kamloops is going to yank their goalie here.
Just going to mention, we need to keep an eye down there.
I mean, I think a timeout's being called, and if you're out there, you know you got 1, 2 shifts left. You got to let it all out. You know, for BC, it's going to be a long flight home. For the Danforth kids, they're gonna be on the couch tired tonight. These kids are playing on fumes right now. And you know what happens when you're tired like this is a little bit of mental mistakes are made.
Yeah, physical fatigue leads to mental mistakes. You're right about that, George.
You know, and if I'm Danforth, I feel pretty good about my goalie. He's played a hell of a game.
Got $1:57 left to go. That's what stands between Danforth and a national championship. Graham gains the zones, then cycles it down along the boards. Danforth get to it. Kamloops in there.
They got 4 deep.
And they come up with it. Shot on goal. Arangio has to come up with another save.
Good work.
And Danforth have it. They'll try and pin it down the longer they can, more than keep the goalie in, but now they'll turn it over. Kamloops will bring it out. Right to the goaltender, Arangio. He's going to hold it. Face off down in the Danforth end. Minute 13 to go. Timeout, Kamloops. Surely they'll take Armstrong out now.
Well, the coach has got the board out, and it's a culmination of a season. So, whatever you can think of as a unit here to make it work, this is the time now. George, when are you heading back?
I fly out of here Monday morning.
Okay.
Get back home Tuesday afternoon in time to do laundry, and then get up Tuesday morning and drive to St. John's. About a 4-hour drive from where I live to get ready for the juniors.
Down through Topsoil Road and Mount Pearl.
Topsail?
Topsail, yeah.
You know you're not from Newfoundland when you say topsail.
Yeah, exactly. Well, here's the last bit of ball hockey we got.
This is it. Goalie's out. 6-on-5. They win the faceoff. Bartella.
That's good work by the two top Danforth guys.
Graham. Kept in. Bartella. To Graham. Got time. Still 50 seconds. That shot knocked down by Danforth. Didn't get through to the goaltender. Then they'll clear it down the floor. This will go for flooring. And with 39.9 seconds left, the face-off will be back in the Danforth end.
Well, they worked something there. They had a couple good shots there. Well, you see who the coach has put on here. It was a big face-off here.
And again, Kamloops win the face-off. Zach Anderson down along the boards. Shot right on goal. Arangio stopped that. They'll clear it down the floor towards the empty net. It's heading towards the empty net. It's in. And that's going to do it. 3-1, only 21 seconds left to go. And the celebration is on over at the Danforth bench. They still got 21 seconds to play, but they know what the outcome is going to be.
Yeah, and that's a pretty good feeling when you're in that position. Just understanding that victory is there and it's being well earned, and the gold medal is coming your way. And you know what? Kamloops got to be proud of the work that their team put in. Unfortunately, all those power plays come back to bite you.
Countdown is on, 10 seconds. Countdown stops at 9.3 as it's offside.
Well, George, it's been a pleasure seeing you again. The Bob Cole of ball hockey, working with you has been a pleasure.
Yeah, this was fun. We've got to do a couple of games. Did one yesterday, and another one. Got to do the big game today, the gold medal game. We had a good one. All three of the men's gold medal games were just sensational. Came right down to the wire. And that's going to go down as a 3-2 final as Kamloops score right at the buzzer indicated it was a good goal.
Pretty happy crew there, George.
Well, why not? Just won yourself a national championship.
pretty happy. Two great teams, and that's what it's all about. Hopefully, these organizations will continue to show their excellence for years to come. And with that, George, I sign off and I say goodbye to the ball hockey world until we meet again.
Before you leave, when do you go back to Great Britain to deal with the ball hockey there anytime soon?
I won't be there till September.
Okay, it's not bad.
There's going to be an all-star event in Sheffield, and I'll be going there with Coach Chicky Mintis and evaluating the players there, and it's going to be a teaching job. We're going to be teachers.
Well, you are the professor.
Well,
that's your new name, right?
There you go.
All right. Well, good luck with that, and congratulations on that appointment, by the way.
Thanks, George.
Great Britain gain for Great Britain.
Thank you.
All right, we'll talk to you again.
Yeah.
Thanks, George.
Bye.
All right, George Gortzos, everybody. Buddy first met George in Switzerland, of all places, for ball hockey when he was president of the ISBHF. He was invited to go over and call some games over there. And we tend to meet at all these events over the years. Always fun to talk to George. All right, teams lining up now for the traditional handshake. Again, we will stay with this for the individual awards in B division, all the All-Star awards, top scorer, MVP, etc., 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 and the presentation of the medals and the Jack Cup for the men's B. And as we said earlier, disappointment for the team that wins the silver medal, but you come into this hoping for gold, but after a while you'll go back and say, we came to a national championship and got a silver medal. Not so bad. Doesn't feel good right now, but hopefully it'll feel good for these guys later on. Just introducing all the members of the Canada Ball Hockey Executive. And the Ontario Ball Hockey Association as well. Got everybody down there. There's Elio with the white cardigan that George referenced earlier. Elio in all his sartorial splendor. The all-star team. Corrado Arangio. It's an all-star selection. Then you get the whole executive down there. You've got a lot of hands to shake. It's Tim McKenzie presenting him with his All-Star Award. Justin Bartella getting a Defense All-Star Award. Brecken Erichuk also picking up an All-Star Award from Kamloops. Top goaltender, Braden Armstrong from the Kamloops Blackjacks. Zachary Carr from Danforth, top defenseman. Zachary Anderson, top forward from Kamloops. Caleb Sims made a top scorer in B Division this year, men's B. Sims Bonilla also picks up the MVP award. So now we will get to the medal presentations, and we will conclude with the presentation of the Jack Cup. Kamloops Blackjacks getting their silver medals. Now we will get the gold medal presentation to members of the Danforth Knights. Congratulations to the Danforth Knights. They're winning the gold medal and the Jack Cup for 2023 in the men's B. Folks, that is going to wrap things up for us. It's been a busy 4 days, culminating in this championship Saturday. Glad to have been a part of it once again. Look forward to seeing everybody again next week in St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador. I want to thank the folks at Canada Ball Hockey and the Ontario Ball Hockey Federation for being such gracious hosts this week and for inviting me to come back in and do this again. It's been a blast. So with that, we're going to sign off, say goodnight, folks. Have yourselves a safe time, as I say. Hopefully you'll join us again next week. Good night from Mississauga.